first off, I got a question for you, but first off, I wanted to see if you have any updates on Lindsay or Bouier.
I do not. They're still doing the testing on them, the MRIs and seeing the doctor. So at this point, do not have any updates.
Okay. And then secondly, in retrospect, do you think it would have been better to try to ice the kicker there at the end or use your timeouts to save as much time as possible for your young offense?
With the ice, the kicker?
Or using the timeouts just to save as much time as possible for Locke?
Yeah, I think the ice, the kicker, was worth it because he had been struggling anyway. I did miss calling a timeout after the second down play from the 29-yard line. When Henry got 13 yards down to our 16, I should have called timeout there. That was the one I missed.
Next one right now.
Hey, Vic, got two for you. What'd you make of Bradley Chubb last night? A lot of snaps, a couple quarterback hits.
He did fine. I think I was encouraged by his play. I think he was too. He's not where he was, but he's getting there. And I think he'll get there quickly. I think last night's game for him was important.
And second one on the 4th and goal, shovel past the butt. What'd you see on tape there in terms of that play getting disrupted with the timing?
It just did get disrupted. They were packed in there pretty good. And, it didn't come off the way we had hoped that it would. But it was a good play on their part.
Next one, Jeff Legwold.
Vic, I know there's, a lot of things and looking back at the game, but on the timeout issue, do you think some of that is no preseason, you got a different group this year, some of the mechanics of it, or it just happened?
Could be all of that. I don't think it's any one thing in particular. It was, it was totally my fault there. I had too much thought into what I was going to call next on defense, and I missed it.
Thanks.
Next one, Eric DeLalla.
A couple for you, Coach. First, how do you think Garrett Bowles held up against Clowney? And then second, that was the first time we've seen Callahan take extensive snaps on the outside. What do you think of how he did?
I thought Garrett played good. His overall play, I think, was good. I thought our O-line, pass protected well for the most part during the game. Callahan, he's always been had the ability to play corner. He's mostly played nickel in his career, but he has played some spot duty at corner previously in his career, and that was our plan if we had lost a corner, was to move him back outside in the nickel, in the nickel packages.
Next one, Mike Kliss. Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, yes, Coach. Was I gonna? Oh, yeah. So last year you had Mitch Tanney up in the press box on the headsets. Do you have someone up there right now? Because you were saying imagine it's difficult when you're on defense, calling a play on defense, and then also what a head coach would do game management clockwise. Do you have someone up there to kind of help you with that?
Yeah, all the coaches chip in on that. The offensive coaches when we're on defense, and vice versa. It's easier, obviously, when we're on offense because I'm not calling the plays then. But it was just my miss on that one, nobody else's.
Next up, Troy Ring.
Coach, you preach details. It's the trademark of your defense. Is part of this when you have to, you see your own mistake, you have to kind of acknowledge it to move forward with your players because you ask the same of them?
Oh, absolutely.
And when you do that now, can be a learning experience for this team because we do forget you are really young at critical positions?
Every game's a learning experience, win or lose in this league. Your experiences are what you build on, both good and bad. And hopefully we'll build on the good things we did in this game and learn from the negative things we did and move forward and keep developing into a good team.
Next up, Nick Kosmider.
Yeah, Vic, what was just your impression after watching it back of those two rookie corners, OJ Moody, and seeing the way that they kind of stepped into roles last night?
I thought Michael did fine last night. He played a lot of plays. He was a starter in our 5 or 6 defensive back packages, and I thought he did good for a guy that's a rookie and missed a good bit of time during training camp. It's a testament to the amount of work he has put in, both when he was healthy and when he was injured. He stayed on top of things. Our secondary coaches have done a good job with him and getting him ready even through that. And Bassi is another guy that's just been, improving. He didn't play corner, he played nickel, which is a big difference. And we think he'll keep growing.
Next up, Andrew Mason.
Couple of things on Alexander Johnson. First, how do you think he did overall working with Josie Jewell next to him? And second, on that penalty, what did you see when you went back and rewatched it? Was it legitimately a flag?
Yeah, I thought him and Josie, for the most part, handled things well inside there, getting us directed in our calls. We had a couple that were, not as quick as we would like for the front guys, but overall it was good. On the penalty, I thought it was a highly questionable call. When I didn't see it happen live until I saw it on the tape, and he just chucked the guy in his chest, inside of 5 yards, unlike he didn't hit him in the back or where the neck or head area is. So, I was surprised by the call.
Next up, Brennan Cristal.
Hey, Coach, 2 for you real quick. One, did you ever think about a long field goal with McManus? I know he's still mad about the Browns game last year. Were you doing the math? Because I think some of us were about letting him just take it with no wind.
Yeah, I was doing the math, but 75 seemed to be too far, and Tom agreed that he didn't think he could make it, and that was the choice there.
And then with Pat Shermer, how'd everything go with communication between he and Drew and then you and Pat throughout the game with it being your first game together?
Good. I thought it was good for the most part. It's never perfect, but overall it was good. It didn't hinder us at all.
Next up, Tex Diaz.
Hey, Coach, when the Titans scored on 4th and goal, Justin Simmons said that there was some confusion from the look the Titans gave. Is that when you want the defense to call a timeout, or how should the defense handle those situations, especially when it's a 4th and goal?
I wouldn't say there was confusion. They ran a different route that we hadn't seen, and we just didn't pick it up right. So that develops after the ball is snapped. You're always going to see some unscouted looks and unscouted plays in each and every game, especially the opener, and we've got to be able to react to them.
Guys, time for a few more. Next up, Michael Spencer.
Coach, what went into Jerry Tachu getting the start last night, and what did you make of his performance?
I thought Jerry overall played good. We just know that him and Malik are going to share those duties, and also with Bradley not playing full time, that it's going to be the both of them are going to get a lot of snaps, and it's really, I know it's important to them and important to you guys who starts, but both of them are going to play a significant amount of snaps.
Next up, Colin Newman.
Vic, beyond Jerry Judy, how do you think the rest of the wideout core did last night, specifically Tim Patrick and Deshaun Hamilton?
I thought Tim and Deshaun played good. They were where they were supposed to be, running good routes, and they did good.
Coming back around, Legwold.
Vic, do you have any initial sort of feeling about Cortland Sutton's ability to practice tomorrow and kind of where is Hamler at too?
I think Cortland's making improvement. We'll see exactly what he does tomorrow. Hopefully by the end of the week he's doing more, and we'll see where he's at. Expect Hamler to be back practicing full. He was practicing last week full, but we were limiting his snaps to the service team for the most part, and expect to try and get him back acclimated into the offense.
Last one, Troy.
Do you turn an eye at all to the Steelers, Coach, and what, the dominant, especially on the defensive side last night? You able to digest any of that, or is it just all your stuff right now?
Well, it's both. They're very good on defense. They have very good players. They've now been together for 2 years. I know they had some new players last year, but now they're back together, and they played good, solid, salty defense. And, they were ranked very high last year in a bunch of categories. And I haven't seen their defensive side against the Giants last night yet, but it obviously was pretty damn good.